night hangout. Let's celebrate new beginning. Hey, hey,
This
hey,
is serious.
hangout.
This is serious
Hey.
music. Oh, the father said.
Oh yeah, as a silver lining. Hey, thank God it's Friday. Yeah, yeah. Hey. Don't you worry. All right, opportunities will come. Hey, let's celebrate the new beginning.
Yeah, new beginning.
Hey, Friday. Eh? Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Thank God it's Friday. Let's hey, Friday. Hey. Eh? All right. We keep learning and relearning. Uh-huh. Hey. Hey. We create stories. That's right. Though you may be lonely, come and join us and celebrate.
Yes,
You may
so
be
it
sad.
was celebrated.
Hey. All right. Night hangout. It's Friday night hangout. Let's celebrate. Hey. Let's eh? Eh? Hey, God. Hey. All right. It's Friday night. Friday. Right. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Hangout. I'm so excited to have you here. And if you're just tuning in, I want to see your thank God it's Friday. I can already see some phone numbers coming up on the screen. Remember, we're taking the first 5 persons to type in thank God it's Friday. So a member of my team is taking the numbers and I'm going to call out the first 5 numbers. You get your 1,000 naira data subscription right here on air. And please, when you do get it, please let us know that you received it 1K top up. As you can see, we have an amazing sister, amazing entrepreneur, power woman entrepreneur in the house. I'm going to come to introduce her much later, but let's just welcome us and just let us know that we have a seasoned power woman entrepreneur in the house. So welcome Shan George, welcome Blessing, welcome Shula, welcome Ezine, welcome Sandy, welcome Kolia, welcome Marcos Success, welcome. This is our 14th episode of Friday Night Hangout. You know how we roll here. We have fun, we laugh while we also learn. So today we'll be having our concluding episode of Power Women Entrepreneurs. And the essence of this August series is to encourage you with life lessons of power women who have broken grounds in different areas of businesses. And also to let you know that you're more than enough to be all that you can do. So with Friday Night Hangout, we build bridges between information and action so you can live a life of limitless possibilities. Yes. Welcome Chinelo, welcome Edozie, welcome Munye, welcome Udochi, welcome. I am so excited. You know how you do your hand. Those of you that know how to lick bottom pots. You know how we used to do our hand when you want to lick the bottom pots. I want you to get set, get start your hand well. How you do that? Comfort. See, God's already doing her mouth somehow. Marco, you're doing your mouth comfort. So now we have our bottom pot. Oh, you know, bottom pot is usually the sweetest, eh? Exactly. Okay, Vivian says she's excited. She says Marco Polo in the Boski. This is awesome. We are going to have lots of fun today while we are also learning. Listen, I'm really super excited today. The prizes we have today are amazing. Everything we are going to have here today is being sponsored by Gozie Udemezue, Evolution, and Cons Consults. So all the gifts we are going to give out here today is from these three entities. We also have a special gift all the way from Lagos. I won't say it now. I'm going to say it much later in the program. But I just want to say, relax. We have so much gifts to give out. Everyone is going to go away with something. Something. That you're going away with information that is action-packed. Okay, the winners are already up. So for the 1,000 Naira airtime top up, we have Precious Chiso Marcos. Congratulations, congratulations. You won yourself data subscription of 1,000 Naira. We have Shan George Ugochukwu, congratulations. We have Success, congratulations. We have Chinelo Enukora, congratulations. And then
Oh yeah, it's a Friday night. It's Friday night hangout. Let's celebrate. A season of new beginnings. Let's rejoice. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday night hangout. Let's celebrate. A season of new beginnings. Let's rejoice. Thank God it's Friday. Oh yeah, it's a Friday night. It's Friday night hangout. Let's celebrate. A season of new beginnings. Let's rejoice. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday night hangout. Let's celebrate. A season of new beginnings. Let's rejoice. Thank God it's Friday.
this is amazing. Great, 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 great. Okay. Sorry, I had network issues. It's raining over here, so it's affecting the network.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're really back. Yes. Thank you for your patience. Yay, thank you, we're back. So please, Precious Chiso, Shanjo Jugochukwu, Success Marcos, Chinelo Enukora, Ella Chinyere. Please, can you type in your numbers? Okay, great. Oh, it's also raining your end, Chinelo. You see? Okay, great. Thank you so much. Njideka says, I commented, thank God it's Friday when it was only 4 people online. I wouldn't really know because I wasn't taking note. A member of my team is checking. But I will also do a back check since you mentioned it. And of course, if you are the 5th person, you will definitely get your 1,000 naira. So welcome back. And so we have a lot to give today. So I'll just want us to really move in and just set the ball rolling. This is the 4th series of our Power Woman Entrepreneur. And of course, we're rounding off with Gozie Udemezue, our grief coach. She's an amazing entrepreneur, actually a serial entrepreneur. And we're going to be hearing from her directly today. Get ready to be inspired. Get ready to be motivated to take that necessary action that you need to take. Now we have lots of gifts. We have transformative books. I'll allow her to talk about that. We actually have 60 copies of transformative book. Who is excited? I know most of you don't read, or you have to learn how to read, eh? Transformative books, really exciting transformative books. And we want people that would actually read. She's going to emphasize on that. We also have footwear. We have 10 wrappers. We have a bed sheet. So we have lots of gifts to give. So periodically, I'm going to be calling out the gifts and we take the winners as we move along. So welcome, Vivian. Welcome, Vina. Welcome, Blessing. And so welcome. If you're just joining us, this is Friday Night Hangout, where we learn and unlearn. We have fun. We share laughter. We get inspired. And we learn how to build bridges between information and taking inspired actions. So welcome once again to our 14th episode. And now it's time for me to introduce the power woman in the room. I'm so excited, delighted, honored to introduce my sister, friend, colleague, ally, no other person than Gozie Udemezue. Welcome, Gozie. I call her Mako. You know, most of us have our phone names. So names that we call her. Latest is Aka.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
All of the names. Thank you.
Welcome,
thank you, Joy.
welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I thank you. It's an honor to be on this platform today. And I don't take it for granted. I want to say hi to everyone and also to my Onyesoh. On my wall, I have a group of women, young women who are thriving. And I refer to them as Onyesoh, and they know themselves. I can see them all over. I can see them here. And it's good to be here. My name is Gozie Udemezue. And like I said on my wall, I did a short video yesterday to notify them about this program. I told them that my friendship with you has moved to sisterhood, and I didn't start on Facebook. It was there already before Facebook came up. And it's a friendship and sisterhood that doesn't drain, that doesn't need us to prove anything to each other. We know we are there. Even if we don't talk in months, even if we don't talk in weeks, it's irrelevant. We know that we are there. And this is a friendship and sisterhood that I need people to emulate, that builds and doesn't tear down and upholds one another when we both need to be upheld. And so, Joy, I'm honored to be here. My name is Gozie Udemezue, and I'm a lawyer by profession. And what introduction do I even need to make? I practice law. I work with a law firm. I became a lawyer in 1999, called to the bar in 2001. And I'm a mother of 3 biological children. I always emphasize on, I don't just say mother of 3 children, because that would be doing injustice to quite a number of young people who live with me and call me mother and treat me as mother. So when I make my introduction, I mentioned 3 biological, children and about 8 non-biological children who have the same rights and privileges as my own children under my roof. And so, apart from being a lawyer, um, I am a coach and I run a consulting firm. But because of the work I have done on widows issues, once you mention Gozie Udemezue, what people are saying is the non-profit part of me. You know, they don't see the money-making part of me, but there's a money-making part of me, which involves working with a law firm based in Enugu, and also having my own private practice, which has quite some retainerships, a couple of banks, you know, all servicing companies and all of that. But most times what I am on Facebook to do is to impact lives. So I don't need to talk about where my money comes from, but I want to talk about where I spend that money. So you rarely see me bring up this. So I run Cons Consulting Limited, which my husband and I founded in 2006. And he brought his own part, which was procurement and, you know, and education. And I brought my own part, which had to do with the legal aspect, community paralegal training, and all of those kind of stuff. Now, after he died, I did a bit of reorganization and continued, because you just have to be alive. You just have to keep doing what you are doing. Now, apart from that, I find myself running. I've always been an entrepreneur, even when I was in school. When I say school, I am not talking about university. When I was in high school, secondary school, during long vacation, I was living with my grandmother in Ogidi. Ogidi is in Anambra State. During long vacation, I will take money from my pocket money and buy peanuts, boil them, and take them to the market and sell. From childhood, I've never been that kind of person that will ask you for help. I'll rather generate income. You know, I take pride in making my own money. It gives me, you know, some people call it orgasm. I don't know what you call it, but it gives me that excitement that this money came from me. So I do buying and selling, you know, on the ground. You might not know. From where I am, at times I ship in uniforms
Okay,
and do my
Goz,
business.
hold on. Some people are saying they can't hear you. So if you can't hear Goz, let me know. If you can hear her, let me. Because I'm seeing some commenting, I can't hear her, I can't hear her. So just say hello. Let me see if they can hear you.
Hello.
Can you
What
hear
I
her
can
now?
also do is to increase the volume of my voice.
Okay, increase the volume. Let's see. I'm seeing I can't. Okay, they can hear you now. Great, great. Loud and clear.
Good. So,
Yeah.
So basically that's what on. And lately, in the past 5 years, I that is very dear to my heart, and it's a mobile business, because wherever I am in the world, I do that business. I make soup, traditional Igbo soups, without spices and all of those kind of stuff. And for me, being an entrepreneur is all part of me. It's me that I see an item and I look at the monetary value and I think of the end user. If there's an end user, it's business. You buy it and you sell. It doesn't mean that my profession, I am not running it. From wherever I am, the business is running. The lawyer that oversees the office is here online. But because, you know, people know about healing hearts, that's what is known. So a lot of people think that Gozie is about healing hearts. Yeah, it's about healing hearts. But in the past few years, I moved away healing hearts to do some of the personal stuff. And part of those personal stuff I decided to do was is the Evolution Coaching Service, which is not part of Healing Heart, because I have people that keep coming to talk about coaching services at no cost. No, it's not part of Healing Hearts. It's under Cons Consulting Limited. So this is in a nutshell. This is in a nutshell what I do. I do public speaking. I earn money out of it. But the important thing for me is making impact. So that even when I'm selling soup to you, it could be a liter of soup that you are getting from me, but it's healthy. So it's not negating anything about you. For instance, you call me to place an order. I want to know if you are diabetic, if you are hypertensive, because it's healthy food. It's made to specification, it's customized. So the important thing in life is to make a decision about you moving forward. And you know, this stereotype about womanhood, the stereotype about Oliako syndrome, you know, having the belief that you're a woman or your husband made money, so you are probably nothing. You are, and especially when people don't see what you do, when they don't see you wake up in the morning, jump the bus with them, go to work, come back or drive to the office with them, when they don't see you that way, as far as they are concerned, you are not working. But working has surpassed that level. I am on my desk right now. I have a reading desk here. From here, I sit and I write. And I make the money that I need to make. And if it's the one that involves physical handling, Barrister Joy Okoli picks it up from me and runs with it. So this, in a nutshell, is who I am. And I also raise my children that way. Once you have more than 2 weeks of holiday, you get yourself a job. My son has been working since the lockdown. He's a final year mechanical engineering student of UNN. He's been working. He was working in Enugu. I got him a better place and moved him to Abuja. And now he works. I was having a conversation with him a few minutes ago. And he was telling me that he's now a big man, that he moves with escort, you know, because of where he works. So, so for me, it's beyond being this. It's also about transferring whatever it is to not just my children biologically, to my children that I birthed, you know, spiritually or by association, and then by anybody that comes in contact with me. So whatever that is legal that you need to do to be financially independent, is very important that you do it.
Thank you so much. So much words of wisdom. In fact, when you were speaking, a whole lot of things was just, you know, coming through for me, just listening to you. You know, first of all, you said something about you starting the consult with your husband. And even, God bless his blessed memory, you still continued the business. You didn't drop the business because you knew the business had to go on. So that's one key lesson. So no matter what happens, it's okay that the ball can drop, but it's also very important that you pick up the ball and get back in the game. And that's what she did. She got back into the game, and then she re-strategized and realigned the business to what and how she wants to run it. Now, if you follow the other 3 series we've had, you can see that there's a common trend. All the Power Woman entrepreneurs, they have passion for what they're doing. And most of them started in informal ways. And that's why oftentimes we'll ask you, what is your passion? You don't just wake up and jump into business. It has to be in alignment with your life goals. It has to be in alignment with what you really love to do. That way, you're not struggling effortlessly. You know, you're not struggling, too much. You're not, even when you're stretching yourself, is effortless because you're so passionate about it. And you talked about business going beyond having physical locations. This came up in the also in the last 3 episodes. So we're not saying don't have physical offices, but even while you have a physical office, how can you optimize that space so that the business you do is beyond that space? Mark you, we're already going into a post-COVID era, and the post-COVID era is largely driven by technology. So which means that any part of the world you are, you should be able to run your business. If you're still running a brick and mortar business, when I say brick and mortar, I mean business that you have to be there in person all the time to do, then this is the time for you to re-strategize. So she's speaking with us all the way from New York, and she's running her business here in Nigeria. So it's very important that you have systems. So all what she has talked about alludes to having a good system in place. So for whatever business you're doing, you need to have a system in place. The system is what ensures that you can grow and expand your business so that you're not always there. You can have people, she talked about asking Barrister Joy to move forward if there are things that needs physical presence. That's part of it. So she's talking really about systems. So I want you to just begin to open up your mind. As she's speaking, I want you to start reflecting. What aspect of your business do you need to start re-strategizing right now? You need to redesign, you need to reframe. And that's why we've had this August series for women entrepreneurs to show you that it's possible and you can do it. So before we give the floor back to Goz, I want us to take 10 winners. So the first 10 persons to put in their number. So if you type in your number and then you add thank God it's Friday. So your number and TGIF. We're picking up 10 persons right now. TGIF and your number. Let's go. TGIF and your number. We'll take the first 10 persons to type in TGIF and your number. Please follow the instructions carefully. Your number and TGIF. The first 10 persons and you get it. Great. While the numbers are coming in, a member of my team will pick it up. So we keep on going. And so, Goz, you've had over 19 years of experience running different businesses. So what are some of the challenges you encountered as a woman that is specific to your gender as a woman?
Before I talk about the challenges, I want to lay a bit of a background. Before I found myself doing some stuff, when I married my husband, he was a businessman running his offices in Lagos. So what I did then was, as a law student, during the holidays, I would leave Enugu and relocate to Lagos because we lived in Lagos then. So I was also getting ready. And so I got involved with his business. He had a shipping business. He had a clearing of importation and all of those kind of stuff. And he had a travel agency. And that travel agency, because I like to travel, that caught my attention. And I got involved. There were days I didn't go to work, but I got involved. And number one thing I discovered that he did was to have a proper structure. I met his auditor, the accountant, the chartered accountant he used. I saw how he did. This was in my second year in university. I saw how he did. He had his business, the registration done, everything. I looked at all the documentation, his bank accounts, and the separation. There was no mixing between the personal and the business. Now, I also noticed that in between work, he had leisure. Because he will always take off and say to me, oh, once it's October, November, I'm shut down for the year, and he will find his way out and go relax. You know him. So, and I learned from him. But when I was learning from him, to be honest with you, I was going to that office to keep busy, and to also see what they were doing, and to also see how, beyond being a lawyer, I've always been ambitious. And I've had people who saw it as a negative trait, but that's okay. That's fine. I love to be ambitious. I'm a woman that wants to make money. And so that when you go to the search engine and you type in that name, you find me there. And I am not a backseat person. So I needed to learn from him because he made money early. And I was curious to know how he was able to manage it. So I learned some of the things he did. And it helped me today. Like keeping records. With my husband, every dime he will record. I used to get upset with him in those days. I'll be so mad. He will say to me, oh, go to so and so place, go to Yaba, get this for the office and all of that. And then on my way back, I'll use whatever, was the change to entertain myself. And then I'll get back and he will ask for receipt. And I'll be like, receipt for what? I'm your wife. You say, no, this is not wife thing. This is the office. Get me my receipt. And then you said to me, what about the change? I'll say, but I had to have lunch. He said, look, not with office money. So then it looked funny. But now I am so rigid about that separation. And it's also helped me in record keeping that I am able to this is going to this place. This is supposed
Beautiful.
to be here. And that's why when you have a system in place, because I found out that most of the times we mix business with pleasure. If you want to run a hobby, run a
True.
hobby. But if you want to run a business,
True.
it has to be registered. Like the soup mama kitchen that I run. When I started it, I started it with cash of 3,008 and all the food stuff I could pick from my house. And before I knew it, I realized I needed to have proper accounting system. I registered it. And when clients pay into my personal account, because they were already used to doing that, I will redirect it to where it should actually go to. And 5 years after, I look back and I am glad that, my husband allowed me to pass through him. A lot of people don't have business mentors. He was my
Yeah.
husband. He was a business mentor, because you will always see him on his, writing table 1.2. He will calculate his money to the last 500, 270. And I'll be like, this money is your money. You don't need to give account to yourself. But what has happened to me today is that after he passed on, I had to dust up some of those things that I ignored, some of the things that I neglected. And now I have to call the auditor from here. I have to make sure that the annual returns, I have to you know what I mean? Because you have
Yeah.
to do those things.
Systems.
Now, systems, and in doing what you love to do as a business, if you are not careful, you mix it up. I love cooking. I can stay in the kitchen from morning till night, but don't tell me to wash clothes. Don't tell me to sweep that house. I'll sweep it under obligation, murmuring, but I'll never murmur when I'm cooking. I'll be dancing. Now I've turned it to a business, and beyond that cooking and giving to people, I run soup classes. I started with group classes. Now it's one-on-one, and people are paying good money. You will be shocked if you find out what people are paying to learn how to make those meals. I have a number of non-Nigerians, expatriate wives, married to Nigerians in Europe, in a couple of them in Asia, a couple of them in South Africa, some of them here in the US, who learn. Thank God for technology. You don't have to be in my kitchen physically. And so via Zoom or any other platform, I'm able to translate that knowledge. So money making is a continuous thing. You don't have to be in a physical space for you to be able to make money. Now, are there challenges? Yes. The first challenge I faced, especially in a particular business that my husband and I was running, the procurement business, Christy Daniels Limited, was at the point the day he left Enugu for Abuja, he handed over a file to me and said, "Oh, finish up this project." And uh, and I said to him, I said, extra 200K on top of it, since I'm good. And we had back and forth argument, and he reminded me of all the goat heads he has bought for me and everything. Of course, I took up the file, started studying the file, making contacts. Of course, 2 days after he died, I had to go through a period of transition, but my mind was on that business. My mind was on that procurement. And so while in the hospital with a new baby, it didn't stop me from being the businesswoman. I will pick up the phone from my baby's bedside in the hospital and call Kogi State, call Benue State, trying to find charcoal, because I needed to supply 20 tons of charcoal to a federal government agency. Who cares? Make the money. That's the important thing. So, and at a point, they said to me, "Madam, is it not better you come by yourself?" And I'll be like, "Look, I'm calling you from the US." I had to talk with the carpenters to do the cabinet, to furnish a laboratory. I had to do this. I had to make calls down to Onyesoh to book nitrogen cylinders. I had to do all of those, and then I will send people. So I've always, wherever I am in the world, I move around a lot. I always have my foot soldiers, but the calling and the nitty gritty I have to do. Now, the first challenge was playing in that field, because it was seen as the field of men. But he took me through, and that's why if you're a man on this platform, your wife should know what you are doing. If you're a woman, you must be involved in what your husband is doing. And also show competence and show dependability, show integrity, so that they can trust you enough to leave the business in your hands. Now, I I knew where we bought the bid documents from. So it was easy for me to go back and do what I needed to do and all of that kind of stuff. But with men, especially when you are not the type of woman that is needy, you know what I mean by being needy? When you are there, there are women that don't participate in their lives. They don't participate. They have people doing it for them. But when you participate in your life and you have this strong will, men with insecurity are not able to deal with it. And so initially there was that back and forth, back and forth. And so I said to myself, okay, rather than go through all of that hustle, I'll still bid that, because I was the one doing all the typing and all of the writing of the narrative, whatever proposal and all of that. I said I'll still do it and then I'll sell it. And so when you see me come on Facebook and write that I have blown, you might be wondering, this woman is in London, is in New York, and she's blowing. She doesn't work here, so how is she blowing? I don't need to be there. I don't need to be there. We've gotten to that point where so whatever the challenge is, won't make you run away. Because if you run once, you run forever. Now, what have I decided to do? I've decided to keep doing what I'm doing. Thank God for Barrister Joy Okoli. Joy is like a million army backing me because she's two-pronged. If I secure a job that is legal, that needs litigation, that needs registration, all of those kind of CSE stuff, and all of the things that needs physical presence of a lawyer, I throw it at her. Gozie Udemezue solicitors. She grabs it and she runs with it. Or if it has to do with the foundation, she works with a team and they take care of it. And so it's easy for me to move at any point in time that I need to move. Are there challenges? Yes. Because at times there are things they might need you to do for you to get a job. You walk into an office, see how beautiful I look. And the man looks at you and starts imagining you in his bed before he can sign out the contract. It's up to you to decide what you want. You walk away, you lose the job. You lose it, that's fine, but you don't lose your dignity. Because with the person doesn't even guarantee that you will get the job. Now, the challenge of running alone. But I keep saying to myself, there are women that are single, by choice, who run businesses. So it shouldn't be a problem. Are there challenges? Yes. Nigerian system is a huge challenge to running businesses. Nigerian system is a huge challenge. I've had something, that documentation that I desperately needed to do. And I was so happy that somebody that was standing and help me do it was to leave tonight because the airports will open tonight. Only for me to wake up yesterday and realize that they have changed it by a week. And so all through the night, I was on the phone back and forth, trying to get somebody in Kaduna. So the system, when you think about running business in Nigeria, at times I pity the hairdressers, the people that do businesses with electricity, that depend so much on it. Even the system itself is unfriendly. Because most times they wake up in the morning and decide that this is the policy. Nobody asks you any question. But you know what? For me, I don't see anything as a problem. I don't call them problem. I call them challenges. When you name them properly, you attack them the right way. If you name them inappropriately, they bring you down. True. And when you are down, you can't challenge them. True. Have I learned lessons? Yes. Thank God that I got married to that man, Udemezue. Thank God. Because now I remember he used to give me books of 7 highly skilled this, rich dad, poor dad. Those kind of books. He would say, read about business. And I'll be like, leave me alone. I'm a lawyer. And thank God, after my stubbornness, I will read. I used to ask him questions. I understood his interaction with his, he taught me how to build relationship. That even from here, I am able to interact with my bank managers without being on ground. I am able to have that relationship with my bank. And he taught me to deal at the highest level. He said to me, don't walk into a bank and start looking for a teller and start looking for a clerk. Walk in there, end up in the manager's office, make sure the manager makes coffee or tea for you by his or herself, and sit down and sip it and deal. You know, those days I will laugh, but that's exactly what I find myself doing. He taught me about servicing relationship. Listen, if you are doing business, you must service the people you do business with.
Beautiful.
If you are a stingy person, the day your business will need help, you will get stingy help. During Christmas, make sure that the people you do business with, that you say thank you. If you do business with men, Father's Day is an opportunity to give gifts. You know, when you talk of corporate social responsibility, I do it down to Ibotic Soup Mama. Ibotic Soup Mama pays school fees of widows' children. What I do is transfer money from the account of Ibotic Soup Mama to Healing Hearts. Our delivery guy is an orphan. I intentionally do that. If we have large orders and I need help, I insist on widows coming to help. It's intentional. They earn money, they have food. It's still linked with what I do, impacting people positively. Now, a lot of us do business without building relationships. You have to build relationships. You have to build. There are friendships I've had from 30 years ago that I still have. Build relationships, build networks. It's not all about money. It's not all about money. Now, what lessons have I learned? What lessons have I learned? I have learned to be intentional about making profit. Now, if it's Healing Hearts, yes, come to Healing Hearts, and I'll tell Joy, if they have money, Joy will give you a check. If you come to my Wevolution service, I charge per hour to coach you. It's business. Yes. Except I say to you, this is free, and you can take it free. So when people come to me and say, oh, I want you to coach me, and I send them my bill, which is not cheap, you find them wondering why they should be paying. And I also wonder why they shouldn't be paying. You have to be intentional. Joy, you know what I mean? You know, you have to be intentional.
I get
you.
Yeah,
the Bible even supports you to make money out of your gift.
Exactly.
And it's not just the gifting. I have spent money. I have 9 certifications from 2 institutes in the UK and in the US on coaching. So if I spent money to get trained, I can only decide, like today, I'm going to give free slots to some people to be in my September class. I am doing it because I want to do it. Not because you came to ask me, why shouldn't I charge money? Now, you need to separate the gifting from your business. Beautiful. Don't give your business to death. You know, there's a way you give and give out of a business, it dies. Now, the family members, a lot of family members would rather have things free. I have my friends who order my soup and pay. Joy, you order my soup. We've been friends for a long time. You've never come to me to say, hey, Goz, give me soup free. No, that's not you. That's not you. I remember one of the times you were in the US, you called me and said, oh, could you please arrange and deliver soup to my house? And I said, yeah. And I delivered and you paid. That's how friends should support businesses. So if you have a business and family members are eating out of it, are eating into it, one day you might need a casket to bury that business, or you might need a mat, and the business will die. And the same people will turn around and say to you, oh, you were careless. So Marco Polo, Gozie Udemezue, I am intentional. That's one of my lessons. I'm very intentional about making profits. Even from here, I've already started booking my clients. I have contacted every supplier, people that supply me snails, that supply food items. I have come to know how much it is. What is it charging? From the last time I made those soups by myself, what do I charge? I'm not going to charge you what I charge you in October, and then I'll lose my profit. No way. I'd rather not cook at all. So you have to be intentional. Sit down. And I practice spiritual principles in my business. My business, I tithe my income, I tithe my profit. It's up to you. A lot of people don't believe that a business that they should pay tithe, but I'm not here to argue about that. Number 2 is the master the art of being firm. You know, being firm in your business. I have I have my children work for me. I have my children. Like Chisom is the engine room of Evolution Coaching Service. She does all our technology, all of those kind of things. She's my daughter. She's my biological child. But I am very firm. If I want this done this certain way, mommy, she won't even do it because I raise them that way to know that this is who I am. You have to be firm with your business. You don't have to be moved by every wind of doctrine. You don't have to be, you know what I mean. And even in being firm, also, you also have to be accessible to your staff, to your employee, to people that work with you, with people, because they are also at times the engine room of what you do. There are businesses you can't run on your own. If my team in Enugu were not there, I wouldn't be doing everything and coordinating in the past 2 years from New York. It's impossible for me to do that. It's impossible. You have to be firm and at the same time flexible. There has to be a kind of balance between flexibility and being firm. I have learned also to make sure that I don't place work higher than enjoyment. There has to be a kind of relationship. Joy knows me. If I work too hard, I play too hard. Because you have to be alive. I practice a lot of self-care. You know why I do that? Because if I drop dead, that business will continue, but I am dead and I won't run it from the grave. So for me, building an independent team, if you are running a business that when you are not there, they will not be able to do anything, then it's not a business. If you are running a business that every decision you have to make is not a business, they have to be independent to an extent to make decisions. And your own will be to ratify.
Yeah.
Depends on what it is. Now, be with people who aspire you. A lot of us are very comfortable with friendships or business associates who we are better than. A lot of insecurity people don't like people that are better. Who sits on your board? Who are the people in your business? You have to have people that you aspire to be like. You have to have people that you look up to, not people that are always looking up to you, because they will not have the courage to say things to you. I have people that I get in touch with and I say, oh, this is the direction I want to go. What do you think? And in that situation, I always say to them, could you please send me an email and tell me exactly how you feel? I don't want to hear it because I might forget. I want to print it. I want to have it on my device and read what you have said. I might not like a lot of those things. Like when I started the Evolution service formally, because I've always coached people without asking for money. I've had people in my office 4 hours. Now you can't do it because by the time I bill you for 4 hours, you will quickly leave my office after 1 or 2 hours, except you really want to pay. Because most times when you give of yourself too freely, you lose you. You lose you. And when you are not earning that money, you become erratic and aggressive, that even when somebody comes to you, you are giving that help and you are murmuring. Now, aspire. Have people you look up to. Have people you go to. Look for businesses that are succeeding. There's a trend that is worrisome. Those people we need to learn from. A lot of us are running them down. And this is so sad. It's so sad. When you hear people say, how is this person making money? When I don't see what they do, why don't you go close and ask them, how are you succeeding? Without, you know what I mean? Those people you should learn from shouldn't be the people you should tear down. When people bring gossip to you about people you look up to, tear the gossip down. Because if you don't honor people behind their back, their blessings upon you and your business might never amount to anything. Listen, don't be apologetic about talking about your business. I might not talk about cons consulting on my Facebook wall, but I have a space where everybody on that space knows that this is what I do. Everybody on that space knows that, oh, if you see this proposal for this kind of job, send to Gozie. Be visible. Amplify your voice without being apologetic. A lot of people think I'm too vocal. A lot of people think I'm too visible, too out there. Yeah, but I am also too credit alert. So when you are too out there, you make money.
Yes.
Because if you hide yourself, how do you make money? Always be prepared to
Exactly.
talk about your business. There are people I have seen on Facebook, they will tell you they sell bed sheets. You go to their wall, you see them sharing posts that people posted on their own wall. They share irrelevancies. What business do you do? If I go to your post, your Facebook wall, am I going to see it there? Be very vocal. Talk about what you do. So I talk about what I do. On Facebook, you see me talk about my soup because that's where the clients are. I don't have cost consulting clients on Facebook, so I am not talking about it. There are specifics. Gozie
Yeah.
Udemezue solicitors. I have my clients. I have those who I, you know, I have their retainerships. So they are specific. And there are spaces where I talk about them. But if you know, you know what I stand for. It's rare to know me and don't know that I make soup. Because before you talk about it, I'll tell you, finally, don't be ashamed of your business. Don't despise the days of your little beginning. You are starting today in a small store at tomorrow you might find yourself owning a mall. How do we now trace your progress? How do we trace your success if you are in hiding? If you've been hiding, how do we trace it? I've done a job, I've done training under consulting that I was paid 6,000 naira. Yes, 6,000 naira. And I was happy. Oh, I was happy. But today, I won't even take that 6,000. You won't even propose it. So there are days of little beginning that you are starting. I have done trainings. And then I said to myself, I remember the first time I earned money in dollars in Kwara State per day. And I was counting the dollars every day I stayed. And when it got to the 8th day, I stood up in my hotel room and jumped on the bed, up and down, was dancing, calculating the money. Like you do money like this, spray yourself, collect it, spray yourself. It helps you remember, keep a track record of your business, of where you are. Forget about those that are laughing. Talk about your business.
Yes.
Make it visible. Don't be ashamed.
Yeah.
And don't allow tragedy to stop you on your track. My husband died tragically in 2013. He went to Abuja to sign a business that we were all waiting for, a contract, huge. He signed it by about 5 p.m. and died at almost midnight of the same day. Don't ask me what happened to the business. No, I didn't lose it. I did not. Trust me. And women, stop being leisurely with your business. Don't let it not be leisure. Wunyoga syndrome should be buried. Do your business professionally so that when there's need for you to receive some grant or for your paperwork to be looked at, you will have something to present. And then you have something to build on. I might decide to sell a particular business tomorrow. There's one of the businesses I'm looking at selling, and I can't wait to sell it because I've built it and I have groomed it, and it's come to that point where I can sell it and go on a boat cruise all over the world. So these are my lessons.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Gus, for sharing with us from your wealth of experience. I'm very sure that I've just seen the comments, people are really picking up the lessons. This is huge. Remember I told you, I said, how we used to put our hands to lick bottom pots, that you should get ready. And this is what is happening. This is the bottom pot of our presentations. And she has said a lot of things. She's talked about having systems in place, being visible, adding value. Whatever you do, add value. It's a whole lot of lessons. So I'm very sure that you're picking out which one is key to you. And you know something, some of us are also very good at gathering a lot of knowledge and not taking actions on those information. And that's what I want to encourage you. I want you, if you can get into that mood, it becomes like a habit where you're jumping from one space to another space, getting information. And I tell you, if there's a point you get so much information, if you're not taking actions, you become paralyzed. You become even so afraid to take the next step. So one thing I want you to do now, if you're here listening and taking notes, I want you right now to write down 3 key things or key 3 actions you are going to take from today. I want you to write down 3 key things you are going to start doing after today. What are 3 key things? She has said a lot of things, and I'm seeing your comments, so I know that what she has said is touching one aspect of your life or the other, your business or your personal brand. So I want you to write down 3 key things you're going to do. I want actions. Write it down. After today, tomorrow, I am going to do 1, 2, 3 moving forward. And then you hold yourself accountable. If you want to have an accountability partner, that is right. But I want you to take down 3 things. So this is part of how you push yourself into taking action, because you can get so much into the mood of just listening, and not taking actions. And so before we get back to Goz, I want us to give out some free gifts, courtesy of Gozie, Udemezue, Wevolution, and Course Consult. We have a lot of gifts. So we have 10 wrappers to give out today. We have 10 wrappers to give out today. And so I want to give, the wrappers are all in Enugu. The wrappers are all in Enugu. So I want the first 10 persons, if you're in Enugu, we can't send it outside Enugu. So if you're in Enugu, I just want you to type wrapper Enugu, so I know. Wrapper Enugu. The first 10 persons to write wrapper Enugu. So while I'm waiting for the 10 persons that will type wrapper Enugu in, I just want to pick out something you said, Goz. You talked about servicing relationships and building relationships. I'm so happy you touched on it, because our theme for September is actually relationships. Now, most of us are not, especially women, we are not intentional about servicing our relationships. We always put ourselves in the place where we're always collecting. We're always collecting. That is not a way to service a relationship. You need to sit down and ask yourself, what can I give in this relationship? There are several relationships I have personally cut off from because I'm always giving. By the time you give to a point, you just feel drained. When you see the person's number, you won't pick up the call. Because you know I'm being sincere with you. And you know, especially when you are a very busy person and you have a lot of demands on you, sometimes you want people that will just, even if it's an orange, even if it's an apple, it's not about the value of the gift. We talk about servicing relationship, is remembering that this person is a human being and you also need to appreciate the person. So service your relationship. Be very intentional about your relationship. Don't always put yourself in a situation where you're always collecting. You don't remember to give. That is not a way to build relationships. And you know, God spoke like a real power woman entrepreneur. Now, for women, that is why we're actually hosting these August sessions for women. Specifically for women, different subgroups of women. We want women to start formalizing their businesses. Honestly, you can't keep running your business the way you've been running it. This is the 21st century. We're going post-COVID. A whole lot of things is going to depend on the systems you put in place and the structure you have in place. God kept alluding to the different structures she had. You see, even when you have a team is part of your structure. So I ask you, who are your team members? And how do you select your team members? So this is very important. If you don't have reliable team members you can ask to do certain things, you haven't started as an entrepreneur. So gone are those days where you have to do everything and be everything. You need to start being intentional. When we talk about, one of the principles of a power woman is having that intentional habit of expanding your circle of influence. For you to expand your circle of influence, it means that, like God said, you need to aspire and look out to people that are models for you. You can't, if you're a one-eyed man in the line of the blind, you're a king. And so you get so comfortable, you can't even grow again. That's the truth. You're not growing. So don't be afraid to leave certain people beside. Friendship is different, business is different. So your friend should know that you always come back.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different from business. So if
And
they really are your friends, go
mhm.
on, Goz, go on. You wanted
Sorry,
to
I
say
had to
something?
interject because in
Yeah,
hiring, in deciding who gets involved in your business, we do a lot of my wife's cousin, my wife's sister's brother, my husband's cousin. It happens a lot. And so
yeah,
those people come in and they treat the business as an extension of your home. And that's
yeah.
where I talked about being firm. So that, yes, even if it's your wife's cousin, it's business. In-law, no
Business.
reach that side. In-law
Yes.
should not, once you cross the door, in-law stops. And when we begin to, let me give you an example. A lot of people now work with people that are volunteering. And you could be here and you have somebody in India who does stuff for you. You have somebody in Manchester who does stuff for you. You might be paying them or you might not be paying them, but they do things round the clock. Now, when you get to that point in running your business, if you are not firm as a person, all manner of wind will blow you.
Yeah.
People will come in with all manner of stories. I saw my web designer today who she's hiring someone and she said, you could be anywhere. And I love that kind of stuff. You could be anywhere and you earn your money, but these are the qualities.
Yes.
Now, something happened 2 months ago. We needed to fund, on the Healing Heart side, we needed to fund a widow in Lagos to start a food trading business. So I assigned a young smart lawyer who volunteers with us, but does all of the SME assessment and decisions, all the microfinance stuff, kind of stuff. I called him. I said, Ife, listen, contact this widow, interview her, whatever you decide, do me a memo. My own is to approve the money and we fund. He got back to me and said, this is what I want us to do. This is what I recommend. Gave me the breakdown and said to me, by November, we fund extra. So I said to him, I said, okay, why don't we add a little of it? He said, no. He said, no. I said, okay, let me give it to her as me. Because I became afraid. You know, I said, let me give to her. Let it be me adding that one. And he said, okay, if it's you adding it, that's fine, but not Healing Hearts. And I like the fact that he could stand his ground. A lot of businesses don't have people that could stand their ground, in as much as it's not a business, it's a non-profit. But he was able to stand up to me and tell me no. And now I am happy he said that no. So who says no to you? Everybody in your business, everybody surrounding you, your delivery person, everybody, are they all afraid? There was a decision we needed to make on the packages we came on this platform with. And I took the South. And Joy said to me, let's do it this way. Let's take it to the platform. Let's do it this way. And I said, okay. Because I trust in her judgment. She's tested and trusted and she's proving her mettle. So to balance it, don't hand over judgment and decision making to people who you haven't tested and trusted.
That's
because when the
beautiful.
business goes down, they take off.
Yeah, I love that.
When the
And
business
this
goes
is
down, they do what? They back
they take off.
off. And you are home.
Amazing.
And when you run your business, don't, assuming you have a hairdressing salon and the client walks in and you sit down and balance and say to the girl, go ahead. Another person walks in, you say, sit down and wait for her. She's washing this person's hair. Let this, when she finishes, because you are madam, you will not wash her. I will not come to that business. I would rather be happy that I walk in and know that you are the owner of that salon and you come and attend to me. I'm not trying to make me know. You know, we do a lot of big manism. You know, that there's no English word like that, but it's a Niger balance. A lot of big manism in business. You don't do big manism. When it has to do with my soup business, I say to my clients, it's me. I make your soup. And what is important to me is to keep to my word and to collect my money. When you see me fly within Nigeria, I go to Abuja, if you search my bag, you must find frozen soup. I don't care what anybody thinks. One time I arrived in Lagos, I had 2 suitcases of soup. You know, when you arrive at the Murtala Mohammed, the MM2, you come outside, airpiece, stand by the right. You know that place like window that you can sit. I sat there for 32 minutes. People were collecting their soup. You give me my money, I count it before you. If you didn't do transfer, I'll make sure it's complete. I'll put it in my jean pocket. I'll bend down, bring out your soup and tie it properly, give you and say goodbye. And people were looking at me because a lot of us are too highly placed that we can't do certain businesses. It's not true. There's no business that you can do. And like I say to people, assuming you want to start making soup and selling and you are ashamed, when you dress up and come out, the smell of ogili will not be perceived on your body. But the money you make from making that soup, when you come out, isi ego when isi. You know what I mean? When you come out, ego nesisi. But most times we are too ashamed and all of that. And don't run your business, Kurukere. Have your papers in place. You know, have your documentation in place. If you are running a business that you need to file at the CAC, go to FIRS and whatever you need to do, do it. Have somebody, an account person that makes sure that your papers are in place. Yes, ego well easy. I saw somebody just wrote it here. Ego well easy. Once you use a good soap, buy better soap, take a good bath, ego. You know, you won't be smelling ogili. So I don't know what is making you ashamed in that business you are running. Because I see a lot of young people, some of the people I see here, you go to their wall, there's no proof that they are running any business. There's no proof. When you see me come out like this, you will not know that I've made a pot of stew today. Cut chicken with big knife and made pot of stew. What you will see is Marco Polo. There's no stew written on my face. And so it's important that as we talk about this, like I've lost joy. Okay. As we talk about this, we also look at how we inspire other people that are coming behind us. You know, other people that are coming behind us, people that are watching your business, people that are watching what you do. Because it's not just about us. It's not just about you. I have had people who came to me and paid me to teach them on how to make soup. Not just how to make soup.
I'm using Eto.
But also how to sell. Because you could know how to make it, but you wouldn't know how to sell. I've had people who ask me, how do you preserve your soup that it travels to Lagos and it doesn't melt? How do you preserve your soup that people fly with it to Switzerland, to London, and it gets it intact? How do you preserve your soup and you fly 12 hours, 11 hours, non-stop Delta and bring it in and it doesn't melt? Those are trade secrets. And people come to pay for it. But I didn't start with that. That's why I said, don't despise the days of your little beginning. I started with making soup to fund my expenses like light bills, and you know, there are property you live in that at some point they will become kind of liability. So I needed to make money, not going to the savings, to just have money. That was my prayer, December 2014. I said, God, I need extra source of income to attend to little things, because the big money doesn't come every month. Joy, you know what I mean? It doesn't come every month. But that kind of money that comes in, that you want to pay NEPA bill, you want to buy water, you want to buy, you know what I mean? Now, that was how it started. And before I knew it, I started running soup classes free of charge. Before I knew it, I started doing group. Now, the group one is so draining and less income that I focus my energy more on the personal, one-on-one, the expatriate wives, those women who want to make that soup. Even the men. I've had two male chefs based in Dubai, Arabians, who were in my class. But you will not see me bring that one on my Facebook wall. It won't come out there. You will not see it there because it's paid for and it's very private. So begin to build the business and look at, also expanding the business within the scope of what you do. Within the scope. So the classes are still within the soup. So assuming I want to make a goosey soup, for the house, and I have somebody that I will need to teach a goosey soup. I don't need to teach the person and still make for the house. I teach the person and I keep it and we eat it. So it's important that we begin to look in. I am a good example of the biblical principle of what is in your hand. A lot of us are looking for the big stuff. The network in Nigeria seems to be so bad. Joy, I've lost you. Okay. A lot of us are looking for the big stuff. You see people like Joy who have grown and developed, and you want to be like Professor Joy Onyesoh. She started from somewhere. So why don't you go close to her and learn how she started? Because we all need to start from somewhere. Now you begin to build. You build. You build. And as you build relationships. I am hammering on it, and I am hammering on it. Build relationships. Like Joy said earlier, give. Give. Now, I want to give you a task. Who are the people who have patronized your business between January and today? Who are those people who have given you business in such a way that, of course, you made profit and you know that? Do you ever think of giving back to them? Do you ever think of giving back to them? There are clients I have that at times I discount their services. I have a client in London who gets across to me to, access the So before we went offline, I was talking about giving back, which Joy had talked about. How do you give back? How do you make sure? So for this kind of client, because I can't give him anything, what I do is to go extra mile on his cases. I go extra mile, the extra mile on his, on whatever that has to do with him to make sure that he gets the best. So I could spend money making calls, following up on his cases, and pressing the buttons that I need to press. Who are those people that are those clients that you need to pay special attention to? When people get involved in your business for the first time, when people hire your services for the first time, what impression do they live with? Do they have the impression that you are a money conscious kind of person? Or do you leave them with the impression that you are devoted and passionate about serving them? If I patronize your business, if I hire your services for the first time, what impression will I leave with? If I walk into your business space to engage your services, to buy from you, what is, how do you relate? How do I disengage? What impression will I leave with? I see people do business on Facebook. You see someone come, and they say, "Hey, Joy, I want to buy from you." And you know, you are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person is a customer. You are not even aware that the person You ask somebody, oh, how much is this? And the person calls back to you immediately and says, DM me. You people should stop it. Oh, DM me. It's not everybody that wants to DM you. When you take that call, as an entrepreneur, a lot of us on this platform now, we do businesses on social media. When you take a call and you say, hello, Onyesoh, what is your phone ethics? Joy, I'm sorry, I'm taking all this time, but I need us to talk about this. Because these are little things that we need to do. And there are finishing schools where these things are taught so that you know even the business ethics. When I come to your inbox to ask you, how much is this wrapper? Don't say to me, it's 15 naira, dear. I am not your dear. I am not your dear. We do it all the time. It's formal until I decide that it's informal because I am your client. Don't say to me, the wrapper is 15 naira, my love. The wrapper is 15 naira, dear. The wrapper, I see a lot of that happening, and we are not on that level. Now, when you are doing business with someone on social media, don't get over familiar. Don't become disrespectful. Don't dishonor the person. I'm thinking don't be too forward. Don't be too forward. I don't know why this is coming to my mind, but there are people I've bought from once on social media and I never went back.
True.
Joy, you know what I'm talking about, because this platform is also to help us to talk to one another and to know where we are getting it right and where we are getting it all wrong. Somebody comes in box to say to you, how much is the fabric you are selling? Somebody has said to me, here, a young woman on Instagram that I wanted to buy from. I wanted to buy ring lights from. And so I asked her, I said to her, send me your account number. But I said to her, I hope what I'm getting is what I am seeing. And her response to me was, here. Yes. And then she answered. So I told her, I said, I take exception to that. When you come close to me, if you overstep your boundary, I step on you. I'm not stepping on you to hurt you. I am stepping on you to stop you from doing that the next time or doing it to another person. So I corrected. I said, here should be for your mate. You should be my children's mate. I am not your mate. You don't even say it to anybody. What is here? Telling me that I am inconveniencing you. When I was younger, I would have shut down that interaction, that transaction, and I wouldn't buy again. But I'm older now, almost a grandma, so I don't get angry like that anymore. So you have to be very careful so that when you do business on social media, and people that you do business with, your connection with them on social media is mainly business. When they crack jokes with their mate, if you see me cracking jokes with Professor Onyesoh on my wall, with Chiwamedu, with Collier, don't come to that space.
Exactly. Don't come
there. Don't come there. Don't come there to crack that joke, because I'll trash you. I'll knock you out. Maintain that.
I love somebody out of my.
Oh, John, I'm so disgusted with some of the young women I buy from, because they are becoming too familiar, and I don't like that over familiarity.
Oh, no. There has to be a line between being warm and being over familiar. We need to draw that line.
Being warm is different. Yeah, being warm is different, but there are some of us who overstep it. There are some of us who don't know where to stop. You know what I mean? So you have to look at these things.
Yes.
If we want to build businesses, like this young woman that I'm buying this fabric from for the gift galore, I have watched her, how she relates with me. She's businesslike, and that's why I keep going back to her. Any day she crosses that line, I run. We have to separate business from pleasure. Don't run into my space to start hailing me Marco Polo. If I don't relate with you as Marco Polo. If my relationship with you is to buy from you, let it remain. So we have to, don't get too familiar. Don't get too familiar. It's spoiling businesses. We are much older. By next year, I'll be 50. If I don't tell you, if I don't correct some of these things, especially for the younger women, that's the essence of mentorship. That's the essence of being, with somebody who will tell you what is not right. If I don't tell you and go behind your back and drag you, it's wrong. So that's why I'm mentioning it right now.
It's wrong.
Please, it's important that we do that. Until that person says to you, you can call me. I've had somebody that asked me,
Very
please, can I call
important.
you mommy? And I said, yes, call me mommy. If I don't say call me mommy, don't be mommying around my wall. If my relationship with you is business, you see, to put me off.
I really love this frank conversation. You know, Goz, we have some of these conversations in the private space, you know, when we talk.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy that we're bringing it out. Yes. Because now we're talking about post-COVID business era. A lot of businesses are going to be happening in the social media. Now, especially on your page, you don't even know who is. You see some people, you just pick out their first name, you start calling them their names when you don't even know who they are. And maybe they are grandmas. So you need to be careful. What has happened to the Mr. This, Miss This, or professional titles, you need to keep strictly to all those until you know who you are addressing. So don't get too familiar. Somebody comes with the first thing, you're calling first names. Listen, I'm African completely. Anyone that has worked with me know that. I'm not a proponent of you know, part of the crisis we're having right now is fusion of identity.
Yeah.
Is in a contest. In the context where you are living, there are certain things that are applicable. We have certain culture. Now, we want to change culture doesn't mean that everything about our culture is wrong. There are certain things about our culture which we need to embrace.
But Joy, I
and
don't
so
think
even when you are interacting,
it's not just culture. Yeah, because over here, there are people.
What do you want me to say? Because
and they said
because
to me,
the way
yes,
they go
ma'am.
about it, the young ones these days have gone, you know. So
you know, yes, ma'am, which means there's a kind of official kind of
I
stuff.
know.
Now, there's another one I want to point out. There's another one. Joy, I'm sorry we are overstaying, but let's talk about this. Now, when I come to your inbox, to make inquiry on a business, you have no right to call me on Messenger video or to give me a messenger call. Let me be the one to take your permission to initiate it. If I ask you and type and send to you, how much do you sell a cup of beans? Please reply me. And please, when replying me, you will notice that I must have said good morning. Don't ignore the good morning. A lot of you young people do that. Somebody comes in box to say, good morning, please, how much is this? You jump into and you say hi or hey. Don't do
hello.
Hey. Don't do that hello. we are still Africans. And some of us grew up in the village. I grew up in the village up to the point I went to university. Yes, I am not ashamed to say it. And so those grandma's syndromes, you know, those grandma's principles are still there. Somebody called me by 2 a.m. New York time last week, Thursday, because I made inquiry. I made inquiry on bicycle. My daughter insisted that before she will get on the plane to go to Nigeria, that she wants me to buy her a bicycle. And I said to her, I will buy the bicycle for you, not because of what you said, because I'll just bundle you into the plane with police. But because I want to commit the money, I know that I've done it. So I contacted somebody and I asked her, I said, I want a tricycle, not a bicycle. I said, I want a tricycle so that she will have the balance because of the terrain of my compound. How much is it? I asked this question, working time in Nigeria, around 10 a.m. here, which was like 3 p.m. Back home, only for my phone to ring by after 2. And I had worked almost till 1 before I went to bed. And my plan was to wake up early morning to join a prayer platform by 7 a.m. And she woke me up by after 2 to talk about bicycle. But I gave her a lecture. In place of bicycle, she got a lecture. So if you don't want my lecture, don't do messenger video calls with someone, because some of the businesses we are building on social media because of COVID will translate to giant big businesses. They will become huge. So these are the mistakes, common mistakes you will make now. You don't know who will announce your business, and that person will be put off by such a minute mistake, by such a little thing. Or you say to the person, somebody is asking you, send me a picture. You send a picture. And now the person says to you, this is the color I want. And you agree. And when you deliver a different thing. That puts a question mark on your integrity. If you need to change, assuming you don't find that color the person wants, get back to that person and say, I have the design, but I couldn't find the color. Do you mind? If for any reason, the person says no, promise the person that you will go look for it. Now, if you say to Joy or myself that you will deliver to us by 10 a.m., if by 9:30 it's certain to you that you won't be able to deliver, type a quick note and say, I am sorry, I won't keep to time. Don't wait for me to come
to call you or ask you. Yeah.
Because soon I'll start calling people out. Instead of going inbox to ask you, why are you not delivering? I'll call you out of my wall and say, where is the business I gave you? And then I'll tag you. You won't like it. We need to get these things right because we are not building small businesses.
And Goz, there is this, because we're doing big ones. And I love the frank conversations we're having today. So I'm really sorry if we've gone over 1 hour, but I can assure you that you're getting a lot of value. This is not conversations we have every day. And just take the value you're getting. This kind of conversation you may not get every day. Now, for those of us that sell things online, when you put out things and say, oh, I have this stuff, can you make your choice? Please let them know that you don't have, if you have those things with you, let your customers know. If you need to pre-order them, please let them know. I had a particular incident. Sometimes I buy things not because I really need those things, but because I want to support the business.
Exactly.
That's the truth. When I see young budding business, I want to support. And maybe I don't really need it, but I could give it out to someone else, but I want to support that business. This lady came to me and she showed me lots of pictures. I ordered the stuff, and the way she came on me, I need to pay immediately. I bought stuff worth almost like 40-something thousand. And I asked her, when are you going to deliver? She said, Tuesday. This was like 4 days time. I said, okay. Tuesday, I didn't hear from her. Wednesday, I sent her to say, where are my stuff? Then she started the long story. They have to order it from outside the country, and then it will get here. And I was like, oh my goodness. I said, this is so wrong. All shades of wrong. At the point where we started negotiating and concluding the transaction, these goods need to be ordered. So even though you are prepaying, it will take a while for these things to come. Be honest. So don't wait until I get to you and you're telling me that they're ordering it from outside the country and then something. What kind of talk is that? Next time, do you think I'm going to buy from you? So
definitely
don't look about now. When you are building your business, one of the key things for scaling your business is looking at retaining your customers. So having a particular buy from you over and over and over again is one key indicator that your business is growing. So you get more value when you have somebody making repeat sale, repeat purchase, than getting new customers all the time. So you need to be very, very honest how you transact with business. Honesty is very key. So I just hope that in this time, because now we are seeing a lot of us go online, a lot of us selling online, there are basic ethics that we need to imbibe for us to be able to thrive. So we're not just talking about starting up a business. Now we're talking about starting a business, growing the business, and actually expanding the business so that it becomes a sustainable source of income to you. So all these things we are saying, you may think they are petty, but we're going into the nitty-gritty things that we've seen, things that we've experienced, and we just want to be sure that you can retain your customer, you can have good value. So when you people are buying from you, give them time. It's better that you over-project than you under-project. So if by chance you think you can deliver in 2 days, why don't you say 3 days? So if it comes in 2 days, you're like, wow, you really delivered before time. So don't put yourself into a tight corner. Ensure that you every customer you get, you retain that customer. And one way about doing that is being sincere, being truthful. I know sometimes your client might push you, oh, I need this. Can't you get it for me? You tell the person, I will try, but I'm not promising. I can promise you 4 days time, but I will try to deliver according to your schedule. But what I can really promise you for is in 4 days. So if it goes wrong and you don't deliver as the customer wants, the customer will say, oh, but she told me that she's promising to deliver in 4 days. So let's be very, very, very honest in our dealings. Let's really be very honest. So at this point, I want us to pause again, and we're going to do the final free data subscription. So the first 20 persons to type in their number, and thank God it's Friday. First 20 persons to type in their number, and thank God it's Friday. First 20 persons, type in your number, and then thank God it's Friday. I know that you're getting a lot of value. We thank you. The numbers are coming in. So when the numbers are coming in, we also have a footwear. So if you're in Enugu, we have a footwear that is size 8.5. So if you're size 8.5 and you're based in Enugu, just type footwear Enugu. The first person gets it. It's just one pair. It is 8.5, size 8.5. And it's a female footwear, please. It's a female footwear. So if you are in Enugu, type in Enugu footwear if you're size 8.5. Enugu footwear size 8.5. And at this point, I also want to do a shout out to a sister, Iroma. Iroma's birthday is tomorrow. So I just want to use this opportunity to say happy birthday, Iroma. Thank you so much. Her birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Iroma. And she's giving us a 6x6 beautiful bedspread. And it is for those based in Lagos. So if you're in Lagos, the first person to type in bedsheet Lagos gets the bedspread. It is 6x6 bedspread. And her outfit is unique signature. She's into interiors, office equipment, a whole lot of stuff. So if you want to reach her, this is her number on the screen, 080-333-48888. Unique signature. And the CEO is Iroma. So if you all great, Lagos, beautiful. We've gotten the winner for that. Thank you so much, Iroma. We appreciate. And happy birthday in advance. We wish you the best of birthdays. Welcome to your new season.
Happy birthday.
We celebrate you. Happy birthday. We also have a lot of gifts. So now we have courtesy of Gozie Udemezue, Wevolution and Cause Consult. We have 3 food packs for widows in Enugu. So if you're a widow and you live in Enugu, I want you to type in food pack Enugu. We're going to take the first 3 widows. You must be a widow. So if you're a widow and you live in Enugu, we have 3 packs of food for 3 widows.
It's
in
actually
Enugu. So I want to see
big bags, 50 kg bags.
Okay.
So anybody that is going to pick up, you can carry it from my house on your head. It's heavy.
Beautiful. So you see, this is amazing. So we have 50 kg of food pack for a widow. So she's giving out to 3 widows in Enugu. So I want to see food pack Enugu. Food pack Enugu. I'll take the first 3. And then someone asked, I think is she asked if she can ask a question. Yes, please. You can ask a question. This platform is meant to be a dialogue platform. So sorry we're going out of time, but I told you this is bottom pot, and this is rounding off the entrepreneurs series. So you're getting a lot of value. Please stay with us. We'll soon round off. Beautiful. I have the first pack coming in. My team, a member of my team is taking notes. I have 1 food pack. I need 2 more. 2 more persons. Food pack Enugu. It's in Enugu. So if you're not in Enugu, please do not type in. Just Enugu food
and please
pack.
let it be widows. Nobody should collect for anybody. We want widows on this platform.
Beautiful.
Widows who are on this program tonight.
So the instructions is very clear. Widows who are on this platform tonight, don't collect for anyone. Don't collect for anyone. If anyone is asking a question, she's saying, adding a price tag while advertising one's business online, is it a business ethic, or is there a better way to do so? What's your take, Goz?
My take is I sell my soup a liter 3,000. And that's what it is. Now, I put it out there. If you, so I've asked some people, why don't you put your price? So that I look at it and I decide. And they will tell, oh, if you put your price, another person will now go and do her own 2.5 to undermine you. It depends on your niche. It depends on what you sell. You can't undermine me with my soup because you can't make the quality of soup I make. The proper thing is, like today, I allowed people to advertise on my wall. And I went through it. I was looking for business people in Enugu because I wanted to get more gifts for this evening. But I wanted people in Enugu. I was looking for business people in Enugu. People will go and advertise. They will just post pictures of what they are selling. No phone number, no location, no price, because I wanted to look at the price, to look at my budget and see what I can do for 10 people. And I didn't have the stamina to start going inbox to start asking questions. Let your price be known. Mention your price. What are you hiding? What is there to hide? For me, yes.
Yes.
I don't know about you.
Okay. Yes, that's a good one. I also stand with what you're saying, and I'll also add another perspective to it. It also depends on actually what the goods is. So if you're selling tangibles, like if you're selling food, if you're selling things like wares and all that stuff, it's advisable that you put out your price, because sometimes people make a decision based on the price you have. So if you don't put out the price, they would move on to else that they see the price. But then there's certain things, like if you're running a coaching program or there's some other kind of services that you need to engage with the person first, decide the need of the person, because it's not a one size fits all.
But she was asking about selling product.
Selling.
But if it's services, I won't.
Exactly. If it's services, you need to engage first. But if it's products that are tangible, you need, for me, I would say put your price. So this DM me, sometimes it puts certain people off to say, why do I need to DM you? If you can put it out there, then you as well put out your price, so we know what the price is. And then in life, there are always competition. There would always be competition. And the competition comes in different forms. It's not just about money. Sometimes I can buy goods that are more expensive because I know I'm not just buying that product. I'm buying other things attached to it. So it's not just about it's 1.5. No, it goes beyond that. So you may even be selling your product 1.5 and you're wondering why is somebody else buying from this person 3,000 and we're selling almost the same thing. So it depends on the value. If you listen to the conversations we've had across this month, Friday Night Hangout entrepreneurship episodes, we've talked about value. So what value are you giving? God said she always likes to give value for anything she's selling. Even the soup, her coaching program, anything she's selling, she ensures that she adds value. So what is your unique value proposition? That is why if you're in a business and you don't know what your niche is, what your position is, then you haven't started. It is that your unique value proposition, that thing that is uniquely you, that differentiates you, that even if all of us are selling bedspread, that thing that differentiates my own way of bedspread, that is what is called your unique value proposition. So in your business, you need to know what it is. So if you cannot sit down and determine what it is, then you need to reframe your strategy. It's very important that you do that, okay? So I hope that answers your question. Would you start? Now I will give God's room to give us her final words in 2-3 minutes. We spent close to 2 hours, and then there are some books. We have 60 copies of certain books, so I'll allow her to give out those books, and then.
No, Joy, you have to do the give. You already have a pattern of how you give, but the first book
You
is
didn't
titled Through the Fire.
About the 2 books. Okay,
The
beautiful.
book is titled, the first book there is Through the Fire. Joy will, this one is voluminous,
Yes.
and this is written for widows. So if you are widowed on this space and you want this book, Joy will tell you what to do, so that the way you do it, type through the fire, whatever means, so that, because my people are on this space, they also coordinate with Joy's team to know who will need to pick it up. And then we give you an address where to collect from, whether you are going to pick up from my friend or you're picking up from my office. Now, that's the book. There's an ebook about delay in marriages, which I bought for my daughters. And when I give you this book, I'm not telling you you are delayed. There's no harm in acquiring knowledge. You could be reading it for your own children. Because some
True.
of you might now start thinking, does she think we are 50? My daughters are not delayed. But I wanted, because I looked through the book and it's something every young woman should have, even married people. I have 20 copies of this. And if you notify us by your email address, I believe that the author of the book, I asked her to be here so that she could know those to send to. By your email address,
She's right.
she will send them to you if she's here. She
She's
will send the books to
okay.
you. 20
Okay.
persons. Then I have 10 copies of my own book, Widowhood Redefined. For widows too. That's for widows. Through the fire, if you are not widowed, you are a woman that wants to learn, you can read. Widowhood Redefined, if you are interested. It's meant to be for widows, but the first set of people that read it after it was launched out were non-widows, and they told me they liked it. So if you want it, but the condition is that you must, because I'll have records of the people that have this book, and I can run into your inbox one day and ask you to tell me what you read. And if you're on my wall, you know me, I can drag you out to my wall and you tell us what you have read. So if we are giving it to you, these books cost money. They cost money, so please read it.
Yes, so good.
Read it. So my final word
beautiful.
is to encourage you to be the best in what you are doing. Whatever you do, be the best in it. Be vocal about it. Be visible. A lot of you are in hiding because your tummy is too big, your breasts are too flat, your eyes are too small. For whatever reason, lack of confidence, low self-esteem, you need to conquer those. Be visible. Stay focused. Tell yourself that you are going somewhere. See the greatness in you. See the relevance. You have a space. You were not just born to to eat and drink and die and go. There's a problem you are meant to solve. Until you identify that problem, you will be floating. And Joy, thank you. Thank you for this platform. I really had a great time. And thank you. That's it.
It's been so amazing having you. So before I say my
Network. Wow, the network tonight is it's a lot of trouble.
let me try the house Wi-Fi. That one is
Joy, the network is dealing with us tonight. Bad network, honestly. Oh, it's raining. Okay.
Okay, great. I think we're back. So your email addresses, and then tell me the book you want, please. So we have 40 books, hard copy books for Through the Fire. We have 20 ebooks for Delayed Marriage, and then we have, I don't know how many copies we have for Widowhood Redefined.
10.
So
10.
just put out the book you want, and we're going to get it. 10, okay. So we're going to take the first 10 persons, my team, and we'll just be here to coordinate. We're going to pick out. So let us know which one you want. Widowhood Redefined, Through the Fire, Delayed Marriage. So please, if you are sure you are going to read this book, please put it out. And while we're on it, I want to also encourage you to please, if you haven't grabbed your copy of the August edition of our Power Woman magazine, please do so. You would really get lots of value, especially for women leaders, and then women leaders, women entrepreneurs. Really very helpful. So you can choose to get a single issue, 3 months issue, 6 months issue, or a year, and it comes with other bonuses. So please just go to the link on my website, www.joyonyesoh.com/magazine August 2020. Amazing, and you get that. Now for the startup pitch, I'm so excited. By on Monday, we're going to send out congratulatory messages to the 6 finalists. So we've chosen our 6 finalists for the startup pitch. We're going to advertise their names on Monday. And next week, Friday, please, I invite you all to come here. We're going to have a special edition. The startup finalists are going to pitch their business live here, and you are going to choose the winner. So we're going to have 3 winners, and they're each going to get a cash prize of 50,000 naira each, and 1,000 naira for data, which was donated by Gozie. So each will get 1K data, and they get cash prize of 50,000 naira. So please join us next week, Friday, as we listen to them pitch their business ideas or their startup business to us next week, Friday. And interestingly, when we were having conversations, Gozie talked a lot about servicing relationships, building relationships. So in the month of September, we're going to be focusing on relationships. We're going to be looking at the different kinds of relationships and how they impact on your life as a personal brand and as a business brand. So we're going to look at 3 key relationships. We're going to look at your business relationships. We're going to look at your familiar relationships. We're also going to look at your relationship with what I call sisters. We call sisterhood, because this started by saying that I'm her sister. We've been sisters for friends and then sisters. We're going to look at that kind of relationship. What value does it bring? And how has it helped us to grow into who we are today? So these are the 3 key types of relationships we're going to be looking at. And then we're also going to look at intimate relationship. That's marriage. Now we're going to look at marriage as it is today. What is the intentions of marriage? How would your marriage help you become who you're supposed to be? And how would your marriage distract you from your purpose? So we're going to be looking at marriage. So please don't miss our September edition. It's going to be a blast. Did you enjoy our August series? If you did, I want to see you type in something here. Let's know. And then what do you say to Gozie for giving us such a beautiful time? A beautiful time. What an empowering way to end the month of August. So very intentionally, we left her for the last week because we know it's going to be a blast. So what do you say to her? I'm hearing thank you. Hello, September. Awesome. Beautiful. So thank you so much, Gozie Udemezue. I deeply appreciate you as an ally, as a friend, as a sister, as a confidant. We've come a very long way, so long, far back. So thank you so much. I honor and celebrate our relationships. So thank you for honoring me today and for honoring us today. We deeply appreciate the outpouring today. So till we see you next week, Friday, I want you to keep it coming in. Let's take some music He says, please, ma'am, I can't find where to download the Power. If the Power Woman music is over, the winners have been announced already. The Power Woman challenge is over, and winners announced already. It's over, and the winners are. Look at the winners. We have the first winner here, the second winner, and the third winner on the screen. So we've announced the winners already, and on Monday they would get their prizes. So the Power Woman Music Challenge is over, and we've already gotten the winner. So congratulations to our winners. We appreciate you. Adeze, give us some music, please. So we'll dance and dance, and then we leave. It's Friday night. Thank you so much. We love you. Hey, thank you. Hey, it's Friday night hangout. I want to stand up and dance. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Hey, fire. Eh? Hey. All right. Eh?
Hey!
Oh, yeah. Hey, don't you worry. All right.
Come and dance.
Hey, God. Eh? Let's celebrate. Hey. We love you. We celebrate you. See you next week.
Bye.
Love you.
You
Bye
too late.
to next week. Keep the mood on. Bye.